My name is Ron McGriff. I am 80 years old. I was drafted in 1968. Basic training was up at 6. Then we'd go to the parade route at 7, as after we ate. And then we'd begin our basic training, which was a lot. It was a lot of hard work.
Ron and I were married 1965, and he went to the Army. He was drafted in 1968, went to Vietnam in 1969, came home in 70. When he was drafted, we saw each other a couple times when after he was drafted. And then after that, we moved to South Carolina, and we lived down there for like a year.
The basic day was up at 6 o'clock, roll call was next, and then we'd go to breakfast at 7. After 7, we'd go to the parade field, and that's where we started our basic training.
We were married in 65. They've had the draft for a long time. And so we got married in 65 to keep from being drafted, but he still got drafted 3 years later.
I played in a band, trumpet, which is better than what it could have been. That was my routine. Get up every morning. Some morning you'd play Reveille, but every day was the same routine.
No, when he was in basic training, they found out he played the trumpet, so they put him in the Army band. And then when he went overseas, he played all these gigs where the doctors and the dentists, American doctors and dentists, would have the band come and play, so then the Vietnamese would come and they could be seen by the doctor or the dentist. We communicated through shortwave radio. He would call on like a CB radio, but it'd come through on the phone. But every time he would call, then you have to say over, and then he would talk, and then he'd say over, and then I would talk and say over. That's how we communicated when he was in Vietnam.
I think it was 6 weeks before you were allowed to communicate with the family or friends and write letters. But after that, I forget, it was 8 weeks, I think, you were allowed to see your family. What I'll never forget is my Jeep ride into Saigon when I was leaving. I spent a year in Vietnam, and I remember the day that, that I left distinctly. They called my name and said, "Get all your gear ready, because you're going home."